Have you ever taken a moment to reflect on whether the people surrounding you are truly genuine in their intentions? In a world filled with friendly faces and sweet words, it's easy to assume that those around us mean well. However, beneath those warm smiles and flattering words, there can sometimes lie emotions that are far less benign: jealousy, envy, and even deceit. These negative feelings are not always as apparent as we might hope. They can be skillfully concealed, making it all the more difficult to discern who is truly on our side. Let's paint a picture for you. You've just achieved something remarkable, a big win at work, a personal milestone, or an accomplishment you've worked tirelessly for. Friends and colleagues gather around, showering you with congratulations and praise. The room is filled with laughter and applause, yet somewhere in the back of your mind, a small voice whispers that something is amiss. Despite the outward displays of support, you sense that not everyone is genuinely happy for you. Perhaps there's someone in that crowd whose smile doesn't quite reach their eyes, whose words of encouragement carry a hidden edge. It's in these subtle, almost imperceptible moments that jealousy and deceit reveal themselves, often when we least expect it. In the video we are about to share with you, we're going to delve deep into understanding these hidden emotions and the dangers they pose. We will explore 10 powerful and effective methods to uncover jealousy and deception in the people around us, methods that are not just practical but are also grounded in the ancient and enduring wisdom of Stoic philosophy. This philosophy, with its roots stretching back thousands of years, offers profound insights into human nature and the emotions that drive us. By learning these methods, you will gain the tools not only to recognize these negative emotions in others but also to manage your own responses, allowing you to maintain your peace of mind and emotional equilibrium in the face of adversity. As we guide you through these principles, you will discover how they can make you stronger, wiser, and more discerning in your relationships. You'll learn how to protect yourself from the harmful effects of toxic relationships and, in turn, build a life that is richer in peace, happiness, and genuine connections. The journey we're about to embark on together is one of empowerment and enlightenment, one that will help you navigate the complexities of human interactions with grace and wisdom. But before we begin, we have a challenge for you, one that we believe will enhance your experience and the value you take from this video. We invite you to watch the video in its entirety, without skipping a single moment. Every lesson we discuss is a crucial piece of the puzzle that will help you remain true to your values and lead a life of fulfillment and serenity. By fully engaging with these teachings, you will arm yourself with the knowledge to identify and handle jealousy and deceit effectively, ensuring that your relationships are built on a foundation of trust and authenticity. So, if you are ready to delve into the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy and uncover the truth about the people in your life, we encourage you to leave a comment below saying, "I am ready to embark on the journey." This video is more than just a collection of tips, it's an invitation to transform the way you understand and interact with those around you, leading to a life that is not only more peaceful but also more deeply fulfilling. Number 1. Observe their actions. One of the basic principles of Stoic philosophy is, don't believe in words, believe in actions. A person's actions are the truest reflection of their nature and intentions. Words can be manipulated, disguised, and even outright lied about, but actions reveal the truth. When observing others, pay attention to the contradictions between their words and actions. Someone might appear friendly and supportive through their words, but their actions might tell a different story. For instance, a colleague might praise you for your success but secretly undermine or criticize your efforts behind your back. It's their actions, not their words, that reveal their true intentions. Let's imagine a scenario you might find familiar. Picture a colleague who frequently offers kind words, praises your efforts, and promises to support you whenever needed. Their words are reassuring, and you feel comforted by their apparent kindness. But as time goes on, something doesn't quite add up. When challenges arise, and you need that promised support, they're nowhere to be found. Perhaps they offer excuses, saying they're too busy or have other commitments. Despite their eloquent words, their actions paint a different picture, one that leaves you feeling let down. Have you ever found yourself in a situation like this? In situations like these, it's important to remember a fundamental truth taught by Stoic philosophy: don't place your faith in words, place it in actions. Words can be crafted, manipulated, and used to create illusions, but actions are raw, unfiltered expressions of a person's true character. They reveal what lies beneath the surface, offering a clear window into someone's real intentions. Think about it. When someone's actions contradict their words, which do you trust more? The answer is almost always the same. Actions speak louder and more truthfully than words ever can. Consider the story of a woman named Sarah, who worked tirelessly on a significant project at her company. Her supervisor, David, often praised her dedication, saying things like, "You're the backbone of this team, and I'm here to support you in any way I can." Sarah felt appreciated and believed that David had her back. But as the project's deadline approached and the workload intensified, David's actions told a different story. Whenever Sarah sought his help or guidance, David was conveniently unavailable. His supportive words became hollow echoes in the face of his consistent absence. Sarah soon realized that David's praise and promises were merely words, devoid of any real substance. It was a painful revelation, but it taught her a crucial lesson: words can be deceptive, but actions rarely lie. Have you ever encountered someone like David? Someone whose words made you feel valued, only to be contradicted by their lack of follow-through? It's a disheartening experience, but it's also a powerful reminder to trust what people do, not just what they say. Observing actions, especially when no one is watching, can reveal a person's true nature. It's in those unguarded moments that the mask slips, and you see who they really are. Actions are more than just isolated events, they're the building blocks of character. They provide a clear, honest reflection of what someone values and prioritizes. When someone's actions consistently align with their words, it fosters trust and strengthens relationships. But when there's a disconnect, it breeds doubt and mistrust, leaving you questioning their sincerity. Let's explore another scenario to deepen our understanding. Imagine a friend who often says they'll be there for you, but when you're going through a difficult time, they're mysteriously absent. They might have a variety of reasons or excuses, but the pattern remains the same. When you need them, they're not there. Over time, their repeated absences start to speak louder than any assurances they've given. It's these actions, or lack thereof, that reveal where their true priorities lie. In another context, consider a mentor who frequently tells you how much potential you have and how committed they are to helping you achieve your goals. Their words fill you with hope and confidence. But as time goes on, you notice that they never actually make time for you, never offer the guidance or feedback they promised. Despite their encouraging words, their actions show a lack of genuine commitment. It's through these actions that their true level of dedication becomes evident. The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that focusing on actions isn't just about judging others, it's also a vital tool for self-reflection. Are our own actions consistent with the values we claim to uphold? Do we follow through on our promises, even when it's inconvenient or challenging? Our actions are the truest measure of our character, far more so than our words. This practice of self-reflection helps us align our behavior with our principles, fostering integrity and authenticity in our lives. This approach of observing actions also helps us navigate our relationships more effectively. We learn to distinguish between those who are genuinely reliable and those who might not have our best interests at heart. It's not about becoming cynical, but about being discerning. By setting our expectations based on what people do, rather than what they say, we protect ourselves from disappointment and unnecessary heartache. It's a way of ensuring that we invest our trust and energy in the right people. Take a moment to reflect on the people in your life, friends, family, colleagues. Consider their actions over time. Do they consistently align with their words? If they do, that's a relationship worth cherishing. If not, it might be time to reassess the trust you place in that person. This doesn't mean you need to confront them harshly, but it does mean being honest with yourself about what their actions are telling you. The story of Sarah and David serves as a powerful reminder that actions, not words, are the true indicators of a person's character. It's through our actions that we demonstrate our reliability, our commitment, and our values. So, when you find yourself questioning someone's sincerity, look to their actions for the answers. This practice not only enhances your understanding of others, but also encourages you to live in a way that is consistent with your own values. Number 2, notice how they interact with those who can't benefit them. Stoic philosophy teaches us that respect and compassion should be extended to everyone, especially those who are weaker or of lower status. A noble soul never looks down on anyone. When we observe how others treat those of lower status, we should pay attention to the sincerity of their actions. Truly thoughtful people, whether at the pinnacle of power or just an ordinary person, treat everyone with respect and kindness. Have you ever paused to consider how someone treats those who hold no power over them, who offer nothing in return, who stand to gain nothing from the interaction? This is a subtle yet powerful insight into their true character, a glimpse beneath the surface that often reveals more than words ever could. When we look through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we are reminded that every individual, regardless of their status, deserves our respect and kindness. The true measure of a person lies not in how they treat their equals or superiors, but in how they interact with those who cannot benefit them in any way. It's here, in these seemingly insignificant exchanges, that the essence of one's moral compass is revealed. Now, imagine someone who exudes power or influence, perhaps someone admired by many. The true test of their character comes not when they are in the spotlight, surrounded by those who seek their favor, but in those quiet moments when they encounter someone less fortunate, someone of lower status. Do they offer the same warmth and respect, or does their demeanor shift? A noble soul, grounded in Stoic principles, sees beyond the superficial divisions of society. They recognize the intrinsic value in every human being and extend their compassion equally, whether they're speaking to a high-ranking official or a humble service worker. This consistency is a hallmark of true nobility. On the other hand, there are those whose kindness is a mere facade, worn only when there's something to gain. These individuals may be quick to smile at their superiors, eager to impress those in power, but their true nature emerges when the stakes are low. When they believe no one of consequence is watching, their behavior towards those they deem insignificant can become dismissive, even cruel. This discrepancy is a red flag, a sign that their kindness is conditional, driven by self-interest rather than genuine respect. For instance, consider the colleague who is all smiles and politeness when the boss is around, yet dismissive or harsh towards subordinates or service staff. Such behavior is not only unkind but revealing of a deeper insecurity and lack of integrity. As we navigate our own lives, it's important to reflect on how we interact with those who hold no power over us. Are we consistent in our respect and kindness, or do we allow our behavior to fluctuate based on the status of the person we're dealing with? Stoicism encourages us to examine our actions closely, to strive for a consistency that reflects our highest values. By treating everyone with equal respect, we not only honor others but also fortify our own character. The way we treat those who cannot benefit us is a mirror of our own soul, reflecting back the virtues or vices that reside within. This approach is not just about observing others but also about turning the gaze inward. How do you react when you encounter someone who is vulnerable or of lower status? Do you maintain the same level of respect and compassion as you would with someone of higher rank? These moments are opportunities for self-reflection, to recognize areas where we might fall short and to make a conscious effort to improve. The Stoic path is one of continuous growth, where every interaction is a chance to cultivate virtue. Moreover, when we make a habit of treating everyone with kindness and respect, we contribute to a more just and compassionate society. Our actions, however small, have a ripple effect, influencing those around us. By setting an example, we encourage others to do the same, creating a culture where respect is not reserved for the powerful but is extended to all. This is the essence of Stoic leadership, leading not by authority or force, but by example, by living in alignment with our highest principles. But let's return to the question of observation. When you watch how others treat those of lower status, what do you notice? Do they offer the same courtesy and respect to all, or does their behavior shift depending on who they're interacting with? This observation can be incredibly telling. It's a window into their true character, often revealing more than their words ever could. Those who are kind and respectful only when it's convenient or beneficial are not truly kind. Their behavior is driven by ulterior motives, not by genuine virtue. And what about you? How do you want to be seen? More importantly, how do you want to be? The way you treat others, especially those who can offer you nothing in return, is a reflection of your own values and principles. If you aspire to live a life of integrity and honor, then let that be reflected in all your interactions. Each moment, each exchange, is an opportunity to embody the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By doing so, you not only elevate yourself but also those around you. In the end, This practice of observing and reflecting is not about judging others harshly but about gaining insight. It's about understanding that our actions, no matter how small, have significance. It's about recognizing the humanity in everyone and responding with compassion and respect. This is the path of the Stoic, a path that leads to inner peace and outer harmony. Number 3. Distinguish between praise and flattery. Excessive flattery is a clear sign of deception and jealousy that many people often ignore. Sincere compliments are always constructive, but when they go beyond reasonable limits, you should be wary. Let's start with a thought-provoking question. Have you ever found yourself receiving compliments that seemed a little too much, almost as if they were trying to win you over rather than genuinely appreciating your efforts? If this sounds familiar, then you've likely encountered the fine line between authentic praise and insincere flattery. It's crucial to understand that while genuine praise comes from a place of respect and truth, flattery often hides ulterior motives, making it essential to distinguish between the two. By doing so, you protect your integrity and maintain a clear perspective on your worth. Praise, when it's heartfelt and honest, serves as a recognition of your true accomplishments. It resonates with your values, encouraging further growth and reinforcing your confidence. However, flattery, especially when it's overdone, can be a tool of manipulation. It's not always easy to see through it, but understanding the difference is vital. When someone heaps excessive praise on you, it's worth pausing to ask yourself, is this praise genuine, or is there something more going on here? This kind of reflection helps you stay grounded and avoid being swayed by superficial admiration. Think about the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, who famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This applies perfectly to the way we handle compliments. When you receive praise, it's natural to feel good about it. But if that praise is exaggerated or constant, it can lead to a false sense of security, making you more vulnerable to those who may not have your best interests at heart. It's crucial to keep a balanced perspective and not let flattery cloud your judgment. Consider this: when someone flatters you excessively, it might be an attempt to gain something from you. Whether it's your favor, your resources, or your influence, the person may not be genuinely interested in you but rather in what they can extract from the relationship. This is where the ability to discern comes into play. Ask yourself, does this person have a history of supporting me, or is this sudden flood of compliments out of character? Are they trying to manipulate me by appealing to my ego? These questions help you see through the facade and protect yourself from potential deceit. Flattery often reveals itself in the workplace, where relationships can be complex and motivations varied. Imagine a colleague who constantly praises you in meetings, making you feel appreciated. But when you need their support, they're mysteriously unavailable, or worse, they criticize you behind your back. This is a classic case of flattery being used as a tool for manipulation. On the surface, the flattery seems harmless, even kind, but beneath it lies an attempt to gain something without offering genuine support in return. In situations like this, it's essential to stay true to your core values and not allow the allure of compliments to lead you astray. Your self-worth should not be dependent on the opinions of others, especially when those opinions are not rooted in truth. What matters most is how you perceive yourself, based on your actions and your principles. This mindset, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, enables you to navigate the complexities of social interactions without losing sight of what truly matters. Developing self-awareness is key to dealing with flattery. When you receive praise that feels over the top, take a moment to consider the source and the intent. Are these compliments aligned with your actual accomplishments, or do they seem exaggerated? Is the person offering this praise someone who has always been supportive, or are they trying to gain something from you? By reflecting on these questions, you strengthen your ability to remain grounded and less susceptible to manipulation. Let's take another example from everyday life. Perhaps you have a friend who is always full of praise when things are going well but is nowhere to be found when challenges arise. They may be using flattery to maintain a certain image or to keep you close for their benefit, but their actions reveal a lack of genuine care. This inconsistency between their words and their behavior is a clear indicator of insincerity. By recognizing these patterns, you can protect yourself from unhealthy relationships and focus on building connections that are based on mutual respect and honesty. Moreover, when you learn to see through flattery, you open the door to more authentic relationships. By valuing sincerity over empty praise, you attract people who share your values. These individuals will support you not just with words, but with actions, challenging you to grow and standing by you through both successes and failures. These are the relationships that truly enrich your life, far beyond the fleeting satisfaction of hollow compliments. It's also important to remember that your true worth comes from within, not from the opinions of others. This is a central tenet of Stoic philosophy. Your value is not determined by what others say about you, especially when those words are not grounded in truth. By embracing this philosophy, you build a strong inner foundation that remains steady regardless of external praise or criticism. This inner strength allows you to face compliments and criticisms alike with calmness, knowing that your worth is based on your actions and character, not on the fluctuating judgments of others. So, let's return to the question, have you ever experienced the discomfort of being overly flattered? How did you respond, and what did you learn from the experience? Sharing your story can be incredibly valuable, not just for you but for others who may be going through similar situations. By contributing to this conversation, you help create a community where we all learn from each other's experiences and grow stronger together. As we continue to explore the principles of Stoic philosophy, let's remain vigilant in monitoring the consistency of those around us. By discerning between sincerity and deceit, we can build relationships that are founded on genuine respect and trust. If you're ready to dive deeper into these principles and uncover more strategies for recognizing and dealing with jealousy and deceit, we invite you to let us know. Your participation in this dialogue is not just welcomed, it's essential. By engaging with these ideas, you contribute to spreading the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to a broader audience, helping to create a world where authenticity and integrity are cherished. If you found this discussion enlightening, we encourage you to like, share, and leave a comment with the phrase, "Always observe carefully." This simple action signals your commitment to living a life guided by Stoic values, full of awareness and resilience as we journey together through the lessons ahead. Next, criticism, as we know, can be a sharp and unsettling experience, yet it is an inevitable part of life. The way we respond to it reveals much about our character. Marcus Aurelius, the revered Stoic philosopher, wisely noted, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone." It is the person who continues in their self-deception and ignorance who is harmed. This quote isn't just a reflection on self-improvement but a call to embrace truth and wisdom above all else. The essence of Marcus's teaching is that wise individuals, those who truly value growth and authenticity, are open to correction. They see criticism not as a blow to their ego but as a stepping stone to greater understanding and personal development. Now, let us consider how this plays out in everyday life. Picture a scenario where a colleague offers you some feedback, perhaps pointing out an error in your approach or a gap in your knowledge. If your immediate reaction is to listen attentively and consider their words, you are aligning yourself with the Stoic ideal of wisdom. You are prioritizing truth over pride, understanding that accepting constructive criticism is a path to becoming better. On the other hand, if your instinct is to become defensive, to justify your actions or dismiss their feedback, it might indicate that your ego has taken precedence over your growth. This is not merely about how you perceive the criticism but about what it reveals about your inner self. Think of those around you, family members, friends, colleagues. When they are criticized, how do they react? A person who responds calmly, with a willingness to reflect and possibly adjust their behavior, is demonstrating strength and maturity. They are not afraid to confront their flaws because they understand that personal growth often comes from facing uncomfortable truths. In contrast, someone who reacts with anger, who perhaps lashes out or becomes dismissive, might be signaling deeper insecurities. They may fear that acknowledging their shortcomings will expose their vulnerabilities, and thus, they resist any form of critique. Let us also look at this from the perspective of leadership. Imagine a leader who genuinely values the input of their team. When they are criticized, they do not see it as a challenge to their authority but as an opportunity to learn and grow. This leader understands that by welcoming feedback, they are not only improving themselves but also fostering a culture of trust and respect within their organization. They create an environment where everyone feels heard and valued, where criticism is seen as a tool for collective progress rather than a weapon of personal attack. In stark contrast, consider a leader who rejects criticism outright, who punishes those who dare to speak up. Such behavior not only stifles creativity and innovation but also breeds a climate of fear and resentment. Now, let's turn the focus inward. Reflect on your own experiences with criticism. When was the last time someone pointed out a mistake or suggested a different approach? How did you respond? Were you open to their perspective, or did you find yourself immediately on the defensive? This self-examination is crucial because it helps us understand our own relationship with truth and growth. If we find that we are resistant to criticism, it might be worth exploring why that is. Are we afraid of appearing weak? Do we equate criticism with failure rather than with an opportunity to improve? Marcus Aurelius teaches us that the wise person welcomes criticism as a means of aligning themselves more closely with the truth. This is not an easy path, as it requires humility and a willingness to admit that we do not have all the answers. But it is a path that leads to greater wisdom and integrity. It is the path of those who seek to rise above their egos and embrace the reality that we are all works in progress. Furthermore, consider how this principle applies not just to ourselves but to those we interact with daily. How we respond to criticism is a reflection of our character, but so too is how we observe others reacting to it. When we see someone handle criticism with grace and a desire to learn, it is a sign of their strength and sincerity. Conversely, if we notice someone becoming defensive or hostile when criticized, it might indicate a fragile ego or a deeper insecurity. Understanding these reactions in others can help us navigate our relationships more wisely, knowing who we can trust to be honest and who may be more concerned with preserving their image than with seeking the truth. In essence, criticism is a mirror that reflects not only our true selves but also the true nature of those around us. It challenges us to look beyond our immediate feelings and consider the broader implications of our reactions. It is a tool for self-improvement and for deepening our understanding of the world and the people in it. By observing how we and others respond to criticism, we gain valuable insights into character, sincerity, and the quest for truth. Let's take a moment to delve deeply into these two next lessons because they hold immense value in understanding the people around us. We're going to explore the nuances of how individuals handle failure and how they communicate personal information, as these two aspects can reveal much about a person's character and intentions. Let's start with the idea of failure. Failure is an inevitable part of life, something that every single one of us will face at different points along our journey. However, what truly matters is not the failure itself but how a person chooses to respond to it. You see, failure is like a mirror. It reflects a person's true nature, their resilience, and their capacity for growth. When someone encounters a setback, a truly strong and grounded individual won't shy away from it. Instead, they'll confront it with a sense of humility and a readiness to learn. They understand that every failure carries with it a lesson, an opportunity to improve, and they embrace this process wholeheartedly. This attitude is not just admirable, it's the foundation of trust and respect. Now, consider the opposite scenario. There are those who, when faced with failure, immediately look for someone or something to blame. These individuals are not interested in learning or growing, they're more concerned with protecting their ego. They might point fingers at others, fabricate excuses, or even twist the truth to avoid taking responsibility. This kind of behavior reveals a deeper insecurity, a fear of being seen as anything less than perfect. It's not just about avoiding accountability, it's about maintaining a facade. When you encounter someone who reacts to failure in this way, it's a clear sign that they are not to be fully trusted. Their inability to own up to their mistakes shows a lack of integrity and maturity. Think about the people you admire most, those who seem unshaken by setbacks. These are the individuals who have learned to view failure not as a stumbling block but as a stepping stone. They take their mistakes in stride, analyze what went wrong, and use that knowledge to forge a better path forward. This kind of resilience is rare and precious. It's a quality that not only inspires others but also creates a sense of reliability. You know that these people won't crumble under pressure, they'll find a way to rise above it. And that's something worth paying attention to. On the other hand, let's not overlook those who handle failure poorly. These individuals might lash out, withdraw, or even attempt to manipulate the narrative to make themselves look better. They're not just struggling with the failure itself, they're struggling with the image they want to project to the world. This behavior is a clear indicator of deeper issues, whether it's insecurity, jealousy, or deceit. When you see someone consistently reacting this way, it's a warning sign. It tells you that this person might not be who they appear to be on the surface. Moving on to how people share personal information, this is another area where you can glean significant insights into their character. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This idea speaks to the fact that the way a person communicates, especially about their personal experiences, reveals the nature of their inner world. When someone shares their successes and failures with humility and honesty, it's a sign of a secure and sincere individual. They don't need to embellish or exaggerate because they are comfortable with who they are. Their stories are rooted in truth, and they are more interested in sharing the lessons they've learned than in seeking validation from others. Conversely, there are those who take a different approach. They might feel the need to amplify their achievements, turning small victories into grand tales, or even fabricating stories altogether. This tendency often stems from a place of insecurity or a desire to manipulate others' perceptions. These individuals are more focused on impressing those around them than on being authentic. If you listen carefully, you'll notice inconsistencies in their stories, a tendency to gloss over details that don't align with the image they want to present. Over time, this kind of behavior can create a toxic environment, eroding trust and making it difficult to build genuine connections. Pay close attention to how someone discusses their failures as well. An honest person won't hesitate to admit when they've made a mistake. They'll talk openly about what went wrong, what they've learned, and how they plan to move forward. This kind of transparency is refreshing, and it fosters a sense of trust. On the other hand, someone who avoids discussing their failures or shifts the blame onto others is revealing something significant about their character. They're not just avoiding responsibility, they're trying to protect a fragile ego. This is a clear sign of insincerity, and it often indicates that there are deeper issues at play. Moreover, consider how individuals talk about others. People who are jealous or deceitful often spread personal information with ill intent. They might betray the confidence of others, revealing secrets or distorting the truth to make someone else look bad. This behavior is toxic, not only because it harms the person being talked about but also because it reflects poorly on the person spreading the information. It shows a lack of integrity and a willingness to hurt others to boost one's own ego. When you hear someone frequently engaging in this kind of behavior, it's a red flag. It suggests that this person is not to be trusted, and it's a sign that they may be dealing with their own insecurities and need to tear others down to feel better about themselves. In your day-to-day interactions, it's important to be mindful of these behaviors. Listen carefully to how people talk about their successes and failures, and pay attention to the way they speak about others. Are they humble, honest, and open, or do they seem more interested in impressing others and tearing people down? These are the kinds of questions you should be asking as you evaluate the people around you. By doing so, you'll become more attuned to the signs of sincerity and deceit, and you'll be better equipped to protect yourself from negative influences. These lessons can serve as valuable tools in building stronger, more authentic relationships. They help us identify those who share our values and those who may not have our best interests at heart. By understanding how people react to failure and how they share personal information, we can make more informed decisions about who we choose to trust and how we engage with them. The way someone handles failure and the manner in which they communicate personal information are two critical indicators of their character. These insights, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, remind us to look beyond the surface and pay attention to the subtle cues that reveal a person's true nature. By doing so, we can cultivate relationships based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding, while also protecting ourselves from those who might seek to manipulate or deceive us. The last lesson, but one of the most profound, is one that we often overlook in our day-to-day interactions. Listen to your inner voice. It's that subtle, almost inaudible whisper that nudges you when something feels off, even if you can't quite put your finger on it. Let's explore this in a way that makes it clear just how essential this skill is for navigating the complex web of human relationships. Imagine you're in a work environment where everything seems perfectly fine on the surface. There's a colleague who is always the first to offer help, who smiles warmly at every encounter, and who seems genuinely interested in your well-being. Yet, for some reason, there's an uneasy feeling that you can't shake whenever you're around them. It's not a feeling you can easily explain, and so you push it aside, telling yourself that it's probably just your imagination. But that feeling lingers, doesn't it? That's your inner voice, your intuition, trying to tell you something that your conscious mind hasn't yet recognized. Your inner voice is more than just a fleeting thought. It's a deep, instinctual awareness that has been fine-tuned by years of experience, even by generations of ancestral wisdom. It's that gut feeling that kicks in when something doesn't add up, when the words someone says don't quite match their actions, or when their smile doesn't reach their eyes. It's that subtle tension you feel in their presence, the way your body reacts before your mind has even processed what's going on. This instinctual awareness is a powerful tool, one that you should not ignore. Let's consider a scenario where this inner voice might be particularly useful. Picture yourself working closely with someone who seems outwardly supportive, who always says the right things and offers to help you at every turn. On the surface, this person is the epitome of a good colleague, perhaps even a friend. But every time you interact with them, there's a tiny voice in the back of your mind telling you that something isn't quite right. Maybe it's the way they subtly undermine you in meetings, or the way they always seem to have a backhanded compliment ready. Whatever it is, your inner voice is picking up on it, even if you haven't consciously acknowledged it yet. This inner voice is not just a random thought, it's a culmination of your subconscious picking up on countless small cues, body language, tone of voice, subtle shifts in behavior, that your conscious mind might overlook. It's the part of you that is always on alert, always scanning the environment for potential threats or inconsistencies. When it speaks, it's worth listening to, because it's often the first line of defense against deceit, manipulation, or even danger. Have you ever ignored this voice, only to realize later that it was right all along? Perhaps you brushed off that uneasy feeling as mere paranoia, thinking that you were being overly suspicious or judgmental. But then, as time went on, the true nature of that person or situation became clear, and you found yourself wishing you had paid more attention to that initial feeling. Your inner voice was trying to protect you, to steer you away from harm, but it needed you to trust it. The importance of listening to your inner voice cannot be overstated. It's not just about avoiding danger or deceit, it's about being in tune with yourself, with your deepest instincts and feelings. It's about recognizing when something doesn't align with your values or your sense of what's right. This inner voice is a compass, guiding you through the complexities of social interactions, helping you to navigate the often murky waters of relationships, both personal and professional. But how do you know when to trust this inner voice? It's a question that many people struggle with, especially in a world that often values logic and reason over intuition. The key is to find a balance between the two. Your inner voice is there to alert you to potential problems, but it's up to your rational mind to analyze the situation and decide on the best course of action. It's not about jumping to conclusions based on a gut feeling alone, but rather using that feeling as a starting point for deeper reflection and analysis. Think about a time when you felt inexplicably uneasy around someone, even though there was no obvious reason for it. Maybe this person was always polite, always said the right things, and yet, something just didn't sit right with you. Your inner voice was picking up on something subtle. Maybe it was the way they talked about others behind their backs, or the way they seemed to enjoy your failures a little too much. These are the kinds of small, seemingly insignificant details that your intuition picks up on, even if your conscious mind doesn't immediately recognize them. It's also important to note that your inner voice is not infallible. There are times when it might be influenced by past experiences, biases, or fears. This is why it's crucial to engage both your intuition and your rational mind when making decisions. Your intuition might tell you that something is off, but it's your rational mind that helps you figure out why and what to do about it. Together, they create a powerful decision-making tool that can help you navigate even the most complex situations. When you listen to your inner voice, you're also honoring yourself, your feelings, your experiences, your wisdom. You're acknowledging that you have an innate ability to sense when something isn't right, and that this ability is worth trusting. It's about self-respect and self-awareness, about recognizing that you deserve to be in environments and relationships that are healthy, supportive, and genuine. Another aspect to consider is that your inner voice can also guide you toward positive experiences and relationships. Just as it can alert you to potential dangers, it can also steer you toward opportunities, toward people who align with your values and who genuinely care about you. When you feel a strong connection with someone, when everything just seems to click, that's your inner voice telling you that this is a good match. Trusting this feeling can lead you to some of the most meaningful and fulfilling relationships of your life. But be cautious not to confuse your inner voice with fear or anxiety. Sometimes, fear can disguise itself as intuition, leading you to avoid situations or people based on past traumas or insecurities rather than present realities. This is why it's so important to differentiate between the two. Your inner voice is calm, steady, and persistent. It doesn't scream at you in panic, but rather nudges you gently in the right direction. When you learn to distinguish between the two, you can make decisions that are both intuitive and grounded in reality. In the end, listening to your inner voice is about trusting yourself, your judgment, your feelings, your instincts. It's about recognizing that you have an inner guide that is always looking out for you, always trying to steer you in the right direction. The next time you feel that quiet nudge, that subtle whisper that something isn't quite right, don't dismiss it. Take the time to listen, to reflect, and to trust that your inner voice is speaking from a place of wisdom and protection. This lesson, though simple in its premise, holds immense power in practice. It's a reminder that you are equipped with everything you need to navigate the complexities of life, that you have within you a compass that can guide you through even the most challenging situations. So, when your inner voice speaks, listen with an open heart and a discerning mind, and trust that it will lead you to where you need to be. We'd like to take a moment to truly express our gratitude for your time and attention as you've journeyed with us through the insights and methods shared in this video. Your willingness to engage with these ideas is a testament to your commitment to personal growth and the betterment of your life and those around you. It's not every day that we come across individuals who are so deeply invested in their own well-being, and it's something worth acknowledging and celebrating. Now, if you found these strategies to be of value, we encourage you to take that appreciation a step further. Sharing these insights with your friends, family, and even your wider community can be a powerful way to extend the benefits beyond your own life. By doing so, you're not just spreading information, you're fostering a ripple effect of positive change that can contribute to a more thoughtful, supportive, and connected world. Imagine the impact of these simple yet profound ideas reaching more people and how, collectively, we can create a more harmonious and resilient community. We also want to make sure you stay connected with us on this journey. By liking this video and subscribing to our channel, you ensure that you won't miss out on any of the future content we'll be sharing, content that is thoughtfully crafted to continue supporting your journey towards a more fulfilling and balanced life. This small action keeps you in the loop and helps us grow, allowing us to reach and assist more people like you who are committed to living intentionally and mindfully. But let's not stop there. The real transformation begins when you take these concepts and apply them to your everyday life. So, we'd like to challenge you, yes, challenge you, to select at least one of the strategies we've discussed and make it a part of your daily routine. Whether it's adopting a new mindset, practicing a Stoic exercise, or simply being more mindful of your reactions, we want you to take that first step. And once you've done that, we invite you to return to this space and share your experience with us. Leave a comment saying, "I did it," and tell us how these changes have influenced your life. Whether it's a shift in perspective, a newfound sense of calm, or even a subtle but powerful change in your relationships, we're here to listen to your story. Your experiences not only inspire others who may be walking a similar path but also help us understand how these teachings resonate in real-life contexts. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're here, ready to listen, share, and walk alongside you as you navigate the complexities and joys of life. Let Stoic philosophy be more than just a theoretical framework. Let it be a steadfast companion, offering you the peace, strength, and clarity needed to face life's challenges with grace and resilience. Together, we can create a life that is not only resilient in the face of adversity but also enriched by the wisdom and tranquility that comes from living in alignment with timeless principles. So, as you move forward from here, carry these lessons with you. Let them guide you, challenge you, and empower you to live each day with intention and purpose. And know that we'll be right here, ready to continue this journey with you, every step of the way.